Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your tower reading with me, JJ. It's good to have you here. Okay, Pisces, I need to rush through this because I am suffering from awful hay fever, and I've had to pause and stop and cancel other people's readings as a result of a runny nose or getting into a sneezing fit. So if possible, I would like to avoid that. Making it quite a challenge this month, this hay fever. Also one reason why I haven't been able to record more videos outside, even though the weather is pretty awesome. Pisces, let's see what's going on for you guys. Whew. Some sort of a waiting game here, where you're trying, it's like you're waiting to manifest something that's you've been on the fence about. What are we talking about here? And does it involve a fire sign? Picking up on Aries energy here because of this Emperor card. So, was it a love that you acted on a bit too quickly in the past? You weren't even sure about it when it happened or when this person came your way. You weren't too sure what to think of it, but you went along anyway. Things are starting to get either a bit too real or are requiring further action from you. But there is this waiting game that I'm catching on to here. And that's because we have the Hanged Man, the Queen of Swords, who usually doesn't speak before really calculating her words and her thoughts properly. And when she does speak, she can hurt, she can sting. And she can particularly sting a water sign like yourself, Pisces. But on the other hand, this could also be the energy that you are taking on. So you could be this Queen of Swords who is waiting for that right moment to act over something that's been bothering you for a while, that you've been thinking about. So this is a waiting to go kind of card for me, where it may have not been very appropriate to act on anything. Excuse the sniffles, you guys. It have not been very appropriate to act on something at the time, and more convenient rather for you to kind of just think about it. So rather than take any action, contemplating, sleeping on it, and playing out various scenarios, instead, on a more, on a hidden level, could have been, let's say, the driving force of the end of June. So coming into July, ending the month of June on this note, being kind of making a promise to yourself that if this situation, whatever it is, and I'm feeling like it is involving, if not another air sign, then it's involving a fire sign here, potentially an Aries. So if this situation is going to spill over into the month of July, I kind of see like you've promised yourselves you will deal with things in a less reckless manner. So I can't help but feel as though you're working with someone here who you realize by now has a lot of power over you and has been able to hurt you before. So not necessarily because they want to hurt you, it just could be that your personality types are incompatible and clash that way. So they come off as rather crude. And so with this feeling that I get, this interplay between the Eight of Wands here and this Page of Swords, the way that I am seeing things is this Eight of Wands basically is headed in the direction of the Page of Swords, who isn't really going to give the opportunity for the Eight of Wands to play out here. So she's just waiting for a wand to come in her direction before she basically slashes it up into a million pieces. This is saying that you could be refusing love that is coming your way because you're forcing yourself to see things from a different perspective. And that can be part of the promise that is spilling over into the month of July, saying that okay, we still have to deal with this person. We still have to deal with this energy that's coming our way and feels rather abrupt. But we know this person's games by now, and we know that they can hurt us because they've already hurt us. So they try to give us their love, but it just isn't communicating or resonating with us the way that we like. And right now, we feel as though we are incapable of being so carefree about things. We really want to take charge, but you might not be doing so in the most mature fashion, Pisces, because I do have this page here, and the page is very reckless energy. The page is out to hurt everyone who comes in her direction. She doesn't know how to discern between an innocent person, someone who's basically trying to come at you with malice, versus another person who is simply just being themselves, but you read them in a different way. You read their aura as being a bit too abrupt for you. You read their energy fields as vibrating on another frequency, for example. So the Page of Swords is just, she's just waiting, she's just saying, come at me, come at me. Let's see what you've got, throw the sharpest knife you have at me. And she's confident. She is absolutely confident that she'll be able to defend herself or himself. I don't like to impose a certain gender on any court cards that come out or any page cards that come out here. So, but this individual is basically saying, I am going to defend myself against anything, even if it is love, because I'm afraid that this love is just going to be short term. I'm afraid that this person just wants to play games with me, and heck, I'm too good for this. I have options. I am valued. I know what I'm capable of. I know I've got options. I know I've got choices, basically. So I get this impression that you're trying to rush into this Fool energy here, even though you may not be very ready for it. So this is the kind of energy that you wish to embody, but the Fool is not riding into your reading. The Fool is actually riding out. And that's why I feel like you're forcing it. Like you're not allowing it to happen so naturally. And Temperance coming out sort of in the reverse, but not really. It landed a bit horizontally here over the Fool card. That to me is just confirmation of that. Things are slightly out of balance right now. You may be acting a bit too fast. And this could be due to the fact that you had been super eager earlier on to get ahead with things, basically, that the moment an opportunity arises for you to basically react to this person's attempts to love you, you stir things out of balance. And Temperance is basically saying, hold on there, slow down now. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you absolutely positive about this person's intentions? Because you might be overreacting. And Sun is moving into Leo soon, so pretty soon, a lot of us are going to feel this passion. A lot of us are going to feel like we want to get moving. We want to fulfill new things. You see what I'm getting here? These cards are coming out in the reverse, and if they're not coming out totally in the reverse, then they're just hesitant and they don't know which direction to go in. With this Sun card, you have the opportunity to change the direction of the energy that is unfolding here in this reading. I just want you to know that. Nothing is ever set in stones with the cards, and your will definitely lead the way. So if you don't like this creeping energy, then you can do something about it, essentially. You can recalibrate things to better suit the situation. I'm actually glad that Temperance isn't fully reversed here. This is still saying it's not too late. This is saying the glass is half full, not half empty. Depending on which direction you tilt the glass, though, it might spill. So watch yourself. how ready are you to sever ties and break this bond? Again, are you sure you're not acting too fast? You don't want to regret this energy. Usually when someone leaves with the Eight of Cups, they do so because they've been around for a bit too long and they don't see a benefit in emotionally investing in a situation that is just hurting them or has run its course very naturally here. But with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, this says that a person leaves and they're not even entirely ready to leave. So you're not fully abandoning the situation emotionally. A part of you still wants to hold on to this. Your plans are all effed up now, basically. So anything that you had envisioned in the past, which you had wanted to manifest, things that you were sure about, might start to fall apart soon as a result of making a decision a bit too rapidly. Plans are being interrupted here, so things that you have set out for yourself at the beginning of the year or at the end of 2000 around it would actually be interesting for you to check out your reading 6 months ago to see what was said in that reading and to catch up on any insights or goals or resolutions that you basically proposed for yourself to happen, that you outlined for the rest of the team, and see how many of those goals you've actually been faithful to this far. So we are reaching this mid-year evaluation period where it just seems fitting that we spend some time thinking about how far we've gotten in the team. We've still got 6 more months to go. Where is Jupiter's influence going to play? How is Jupiter's influence going to play out for you, Pisces? It would be interesting for you to have a look on your natal chart to see where Jupiter is, because wherever Jupiter is, whichever part of your chart Jupiter touches, gives you that expansive opportunity. So if it's in the realm of relationships, then you have an opportunity to improve on your relationships, to take things to the next level. If it falls in your 10th house, and then you need to consider how this expansive energy will basically have a say over your career or prepare you for a new role or a promotion and something grand like that. So it really depends on where you stand with Jupiter. But what I'm picking up on here basically is that you need not rush into things too quickly. So there is this need to basically observe from a distance for a while, just to make sure that you are on the right track and to make sure that you don't assert yourself in a way that others not appreciate, because it looks like a backfire here. So you might think like you have made the decision to move on your own and that you're satisfied with this decision. You're very confident in whatever plan you've proposed, this new plan that you've proposed that's supposed to take over something else that may have taken quite a while to build up to. And you think that you can still salvage things, but you've acted a bit too fast here, and now you might be a bit defensive as well. And when we get like that, we're not always thinking very clearly. So just heed that warning. So it is possible that we can say things that we end up regretting because we didn't think about them. So think before you speak. Second guessing yourself is, yes, I would second guess myself. I would stop and I'd make sure before I hit that launch button, before I hit that enter button, before I hit send on that message or on that email, just double check and make sure that you've stated everything that you want to say in the best manner possibly, that you've selected your words accordingly, and that you put this Four of Swords energy forward in the best way possible. So without compromising your needs or desires, but also thinking about the any potential backlash effect that occur. Like, you need to be ready for this. With this Page of Cups energy here, you have this potential to manifest. It's very, very strong. So you do need to be extra careful of how the kind of scenarios that you play out in your mind. You want to make sure that they're positive, that they are on a light note, good positive note. Pisces, let's try and stay away from those scenarios where we end up hurting people, everyone, really everyone, even those who don't want to harm us, just because we are afraid, slightly insecure, and let's face it, we're not so sure we're making the right choices. So just consider that, I think, Pisces, for the month of July, and let's see what happens. So very interesting reading, you guys. Like I said, I just want to reiterate, you have control. Let's bring this Sun card upright. Let's end your reading with an upright Sun card here, because that's what we're aiming for right now. It's like this. Don't want to flip it upside down. So again, okay, also with the Sun card, the Sun card can talk about your health as well, meaning maybe it's good for you to be around bodies of water in the month of July. So I really feel like you need to make sure that you are replenished, that you are gaining all the nutrients you need to gain. So being a water sign yourself, Pisces, immerse yourself in the ocean, in the sea, in the lake. Go for a swim. If you're not into water sports, then perhaps consider meditating on the beach while you're looking out onto the horizon, much like this Three of Wands here, although he is reversed. So meditate with water by your side. This, I feel, could really, really help you. Watch your health this month, Pisces. Put yourself first and realize that your emotions do have a lot of effect on your mental health, and your mental health has an effect on your physical well-being as well. It's all tied up. If you are feeling top-notch emotionally and mentally, then you will be top-notch physically as well. You can also influence yourself to get out of a distressing situation by being more active, by exercising daily. And when exercising daily doesn't mean that you have to hit the gym for a couple of hours a day. It could simply be going for a walk around the block, going for a jog, kicking around the ball with your kids. Get your body moving, basically, and you will feel better in other arenas of your life as well. So watch out for health. Which is what this Sun card be talking about. So you're just on edge, again, forcing yourself to be carefree when you're not feeling that way. Trying to, pretending like something is no big deal when deep down inside you're reeling over it. Then there's this fear that a wound will fester. Someone said something to you, you took this word, it's become incepted in your mind now, and it can grow out of control. It can grow out of control. It turns into a bigger situation than it actually is. So something that was in fact not such a big deal ends up being blown out of proportion. So watch out for this sort of frustrating energy that creep in. And if you feel the need to really be headstrong, just pull yourself back, calm yourself down. Remember, this Temperance card here is on edge. So again, yeah, you be on edge and you be on the fence about things. I see you kind of like being Humpty Dumpty this month, where you guys are sitting on the edge and like, someone might just throw you over that edge and you will break. So pay extra attention to your Pisces this month, and I wish you the best of luck. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Your support means the world to me. So if you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, but you find these videos really entertaining, subscribing is really the easiest way that you can support this channel, and I really do appreciate it if you do decide to subscribe. Other than that, I wish you guys the best month, and I will see you soon next month. Thanks for being here once again. Bye, Pisces.